Yo, what up, y'all? Today we jumping into some more Back for Blood. In this one, I'm going to show you guys a couple real easy builds to help you guys get from Recruit to Nightmare with no issues at all. Now, I have been getting a lot of requests, a lot of people starting up on Back for Blood, a lot of new players in the game, which I find absolutely amazing. This game is super duper fun, but sometimes starting out, especially not having all the supply points and all the cards, it's a little bit hard, a little bit confusing to kind of tell what to do to get up to Nightmare, start getting your SWAT skins. So we're going to go over a couple good builds. Now, the 4 characters that I would recommend would be Walker, Holly, Doc, and Hoffman. Those 4 can pretty much do everything that you need. You'll use Walker for shooting, you'll use Holly for meleeing, you'll use Hoffman for grenades, and then you'll use Doc for healing. Now, I personally think if you want to easily run through the game, farm supply points, I would just go with the melee build. It's my favorite thing to do in the game, the easiest thing to do in the game. But of course, if you're playing with a squad, playing with a party, you might want to have a Walker, a Doc, 1 melee, and 1 grenade guy. That'll probably be like the ideal team comp there. Starting with the first build, we got the easy melee. We're going to use cross trainers, rhythmic breathing, meth head. I do have breakout and glass cannon on this build as well. Now, as you start to progress in the game, you'll start to get burn cards. And with the burn cards, you actually can use that to get breakout. It's called slippery when wet. So instead of you having to use the breakout card, you can actually take that off, get more melee damage, get more life, more resistance, fully up to you. But I think, just running through the game on Recruit one good time with the starter deck, that should give you more than enough supply points to unlock all of these cards. And then you're chilling. You can go straight from Recruit to Nightmare, and then from Nightmare to No Hope. So you actually don't even have to play Veteran at all. For the second build, we're going to go with the Easy Gun build. And I would actually use this for Hoffman as well. Now again, there's a bunch of different variations, a whole lot of different cards that you can use. This is just what I think would make it really easy for you. And especially too, if you're going to be using Hoffman on this build, it might be good to maybe take out a couple of the shooting cards. If you have some grenade cards, grenade pouches, I would definitely just add those in because it's just going to make his grenade damage better. You'll be able to carry more grenades and it should make it a lot easier for you. Now also too, on this build, we're going to be rocking with the copper. I typically don't put copper on my builds only because I'd rather more damage. And then there's going to be burn cards that actually give you copper, so you really don't need it. But if you're starting out, copper's always really good because you'll probably need to buy, med kits, buy utility, upgrade at the shop. So I definitely would keep the copper on there, run this build with a Walker or a Hoffman, and it should be a literal cakewalk. From Recruit to Nightmare, shouldn't be a problem at all. Really, it just comes down to like where you're standing, where you are when the horde breaks out, and just positioning. So I would definitely work on the positioning when you're going through Recruit. So that way, once you get to Nightmare, you kind of already know what's going on. For the third build, we're rocking the good old Doc. Now, the main 4 cards that you should use on all builds, except for melee, would be Cross Trainers, Rhythmic Breathing, Run Like Hell, and Mad Dash. That'll give you more than enough speed, more than enough stamina, and you should be able to, maneuver in and out of hordes, run when you need to, sprint when you need to, or like even at the end, if you need to clutch up, get to the safe room. It's always nice having the speed because you can kind of just run to the end. Now on Doc, again, there's a bunch of different cards that you can use, especially if you have more of the newer cards like Fit as a Fiddle, Well Rested. Those are definitely what you want to go with. But on a basic, if you have limited supply points, I think these cards will probably make it the easiest for you to kind of just run through the game without having much of a problem at all. Also too, we're going to be using copper on the Doc deck as well. So then that way you actually have enough heals, you can buy upgrades. And then, you can hit people with heals prior to leaving the safe room, rebuy your heals, and then you guys are good to go for the map. So like I was saying, what you're going to want to do is start off on Recruit, run through it probably one good time. That'll probably give you, 20 to 50k supply points, and that should be more than enough for you to buy all of those cards. And then from there, you just go Nightmare, No Hope, and then you're chilling. Now, another thing I want to add in too. These are not the best builds that you could be doing. Again, I want to stress this. There's a bunch of different things that you could do. Way more advanced builds than this. But starting off on the game, if you have limited supply points, these builds will probably carry you all the way to Nightmare Act 3, probably even get you through that. You know, if you know how to do T5, you definitely can do it with these builds, 100%. Now, what I will show you guys as well, because, you know, I always, still to this day, I haven't played this game in months, still to this day, people say the builds don't work, people say I may not know what I'm talking about, you know, things to that nature. I do not claim to be a pro, you know, I'm not the best at the game, but what I will tell you is the game, this came out back on October 12th of 2021. As you can see, I've been playing since October 7th of 2021. And I ended up actually completing all of Nightmare on November 16, 2021. So almost 3 years ago, I've already beat the game on Nightmare, all difficulties, all cleaners. And you know, anybody who's an OG at the game, you guys remember how hard Nightmare was back then, because no hope didn't even exist. It was pretty much impossible. So I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, 7,654 hours later, I kind of have a good idea of what may work, what may not work. And again, you know, the builds, it may not be to a specific person's play style, but just generally the build 100% works. And if you guys stick around, I'll actually show you that the build works. We're going to go to Nightmare, and I'm going to use the Holly Melee build. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to speed this part up. I'm going to run through all of the first act to the first boss or to the first end without healing one time. So, you know, not saying that you guys are going to be able to do the same thing, but the build 100% works. You know, if you're in the correct positioning, if you're fighting the hordes how you should be, and of course, you know, if you're just swinging the melee weapon, honestly, anywhere from Recruit to Nightmare, you can just hold forward and swing the melee weapon, and you probably can easily beat the map. So make sure you guys hit the like button on this video so that way all the new players, they can see this, you know, get them some good starter builds. I think this game still is super duper fun. I don't play it as much nowadays only because they don't drop more content on it, which is really sad. I wish they'd just come out with some more maps, you know, some mods, some more DLC, but, you know, unfortunately they stopped making the content. Down in the comments, you know, if you guys do have anything that you need help with on this game as far as builds, maps, you know, just help in general, let me know down in the comments. I could try to make a video for you. To be honest, I've basically made like pretty much all OP builds on this game. I've went through so many builds in the course of like when I've been playing it, you know, so there's not really much more builds I can show you. I mean, I probably could come up with something, but everything that deletes this game, that makes it easy, I pretty much already made. So again, I think meleeing is probably the most OP thing that you could do on this game if you're trying to carry. You know, you want to get the SWAT skins. I would just melee on every single character. You know, you can do it on Evangelo, Jim, Holly, Tala. It really doesn't matter. As long as you have a good build, as long as you're in the correct positioning, you can quite simply run through all of the game, at least on Nightmare. You know, once you hit No Hope, you might want to actually start using the character for what they're for, you know, but up until Nightmare, at least until Act 3 T5, you can definitely run through this game by just holding forward and just swinging the melee weapon. So hopefully this video helps you guys out. Again, stick around. I'm going to run through the entire Act 1 meleeing without healing a singular time, just to kind of show you guys how easy it is to do and how OP the build is. As always, I appreciate you guys checking it out, and I'll see you on that next one. Peace.